Hello, wonderful people. It's Mark here from Not Defining. I hope you're doing so well. Listen, I know that biphobia is something that a lot of us have to deal with. It is all around us and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. So today, as a bisexual person myself and as a coach who supports many people on the bi plus spectrum, I wanted to give some guidance or suggestions as to how we can deal with it. So the first thing to say is that you are not alone. Oftentimes, when we experience biphobia, because it is so common and so embedded in society, and because a lot of us don't necessarily have a big community of bi people around us, we often feel alone. But the first thing to remember is that you are never, ever on your own with this. You can come, you can speak to us here on Not Defining. Look in the comments of this video, for example, my other videos. People go through this, okay? You are not crazy and you are not alone. You have a community here. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I think it's sometimes helpful to have is a few statistics. You know, when people make comments or they make misinformed statements, a lot of the time we kind of wonder how we're going to react. Well, I find if I just have in my back pocket a couple of key stats, it can help to actually educate people, and they'll oftentimes go, oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah. So some of my favorite ones are, for example, actually so many people are on the bi spectrum. If you look at the studies done by the Kinsey Institute, by YouGov, okay, there's also a very recent Gallup poll been done in the US, which shows that up to 1 in 5 people in the US identify as LGBT, and most of them are bi. As the generations are going on, more and more people are identifying on the bi spectrum. Okay, so that's quite a good stat. Another one is that the bisexual community is the biggest group in the LGBT community. Again, a lot of queer people don't understand that. Yeah, and they will be disrespectful to bi people or brush it under the carpet, say it doesn't exist. Well, actually, we are over 50% of the LGBT community. Another one that I really like is people who identify as heterosexual are the most likely to have a disparity between the sexuality that they state they are and what their actual attractions are. Okay, so a lot of people say that bisexual people are confused and so on. Actually, if you look at the academic research, you will see that you're more likely to be confused if you are identifying as straight. Okay, there are also studies that have been done on monogamy in relationships. So it's a plain fact that most bisexual people are in long-term monogamous relationships. So again, the idea that we can't be monogamous is just plain false. There's also research to show that you are no more likely to cheat, you're no more likely to be unfaithful, and so on. So I'll post a couple of links. Find your own as well. Find ones that just sit nicely in your back pocket that you can bring out like that. And it can really help to kind of stave off those silly, ignorant comments. By the way, if you would like to connect with other bisexual people, and if you would like to come and speak to me one-on-one on a mentoring basis and join group sessions and get lots of extra exclusive information, including my Reveal All podcast, where I go really deep into my personal experiences and a lot of the things that I talk about on YouTube, then join our Patreon. There should be a link popping up here. So the next thing that I would say is, once you've got a few stats there in your back pocket, if people still aren't listening, if people are still being abusive or disrespectful, this is the really important thing, people. Stop debating it. Okay? So often we get consumed into this kind of cyclical spiral of debating our validity as bisexual people. And the problem is that it doesn't work. Why doesn't it not work? Because we are valid as being bisexual. It's something natural. within us, it's naturally occurring, and there's no debate around it. There's no explaining it that we have to do. We don't have to have all this information. We don't have to prove our validity. We don't have to prove our right to exist. We just exist. Okay, so when people are being disrespectful or invalidating your identity, stop. Okay, you can explain a little bit, but if they're still not getting it, just stop. I cannot impress upon you any more strongly how essential this is. Okay, people want to make it a debate, but if you're debating, you're most likely just going to get yourself frustrated. And what you're actually doing is you're, in a way, normalizing the fact that this should be a debate, whereas it shouldn't be. Okay? If someone came up to me and said, Mark, you don't have brown hair, you have blonde hair, I would say, okay, weird comment, but moving on. Do you know what I mean? And it should be exactly the same if someone comes to me and says, do you know what, Mark, I don't think bisexuality exists, or I think you're just gay in denial, or I think you're making it up, or whatever. That's the same reaction that I have. I just go, okay, weird comment, but fine. Do you see the power in that? Okay? It is so tempting to argue back or to debate, but my strong advice to you would be just don't. And this takes some strength. Okay, it's difficult because we really, really want to get stuck into that conversation. But we have to be strong, okay, in ourselves, and we have to understand that we are valid and that there's no debate to be had. We don't have to explain ourselves, don't have to prove ourselves. And so owning that and standing in that is the best way to destroy somebody's argument. And then the final thing, when it comes to dating, what I would suggest, and people have different opinions on this, but I would normally suggest, if you can, put it in your dating bio. Tell people straight away, if you can, when you start dating. The reason I say this is because once you tell people, you can see them for who they are. So if they're going to be hostile, you know that straight off the bat, and you can filter them out. Okay? You're a fantastic person. You have so much to give, and there are many, many people out there who are accepting and lovely and don't have a problem with it. So telling people straight away not only filters them out practically, but it also does another thing. It also helps with that kind of owning of who you are. Okay, like we said before, standing up for your bisexuality is not actually about explaining it. It's not actually about pandering to other people's ignorance. It's not about saying, oh, well, you know, there's this thing about me. I'm not going to tell you straight away, but, you know, we've got to have this big conversation about it, and I hope you're okay with it, and, you know, feeling guilty about it, and, oh, is it a problem? No, straight off the bat, just be like, I'm bisexual. This is something about me. End of story. Don't even entertain the possibility that they might have a problem with it. Do you see the difference? Because if I had blonde hair, I wouldn't expect someone to have a problem with it, right? I'm bisexual. I don't believe that anyone should have a problem with it. And that's the energy that I give off. And so if they do have a problem, they'll leave. Great. You've dodged a bullet. And if they don't, then you will know that they are accepting you, that they're attracted to you, that they like you, that they want you as you are. So you never have to worry. So all that anxiety just goes away. So what do you think of this technique or method? Have you experienced biphobia? Are you dealing with things yourself and want to chat? come and let me know in the comments. Come and read the comments. Come and connect with us. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I have so many videos coming out on bisexuality. And if you would like to see this technique explained in a bit more detail, then check out this video. It's focused primarily on families, but actually it works for anyone. So I would really, really recommend this video. I made it a while ago, but it really, really works. So check it out and good luck. I hope that you have a wonderful, confident day free of biphobia. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.